Hello and welcome to Module 2, Lesson 1. And in this lesson, we're going to be chatting about your business goals. Now, of course, these aren't directly related to blogging, so you may be wondering what I'm doing talking about them in the first place in this course. Well, the reason is that your business goals are going to directly impact the decisions that you make about your blog and the way that you run your blog. So I wanted to just cover them here so that we can get really clear on that, and that's going to help you in the next lessons for the rest of this module and probably in your other modules as well. So let's chat business goals. Now, if you don't already have business goals, then this is a great place to start. You need to get some goals in place because those are key for everything else that you're going to be doing with your blog. If you do have business goals, fantastic. Still watch this video because it may help you to refine them a little bit, and it always does good to go back and revisit goals, to review them and make sure they're still appropriate and still relevant. So let's get started. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail today on your business goals because this is a blogging course, but I am going to give you just a few things to consider that will help you when you then go forward into the next lessons of this module. So one goal that you should have and that you should be pretty clear on, very clear on, is your revenue target. So if you don't already have this, then this is a really important exercise to go through. Essentially, you need to work out how much revenue you want to earn in a certain period of time. So for example, you may choose to set an annual revenue goal, or you may want to just focus on the next 6 months, say. The way I do it is to set an annual goal and then to break my year down into quarters so that it's not too overwhelming and I'm only ever focusing in detail on the next 3 months at a time. Of course, once you've got that revenue goal, you need to know how you're going to go about earning that revenue. So what are your revenue streams going to be? Now, if you're using your blog as the sort of central focus of your business, then of course there's a number of options. For example, you may be a coach, so your revenue may come through one-to-one coaching, group coaching, and so on. You may have a product that you're selling through your website, in which case you'll make your revenue through sales of those products, and so on and so forth. You may have more than one revenue stream. For example, I have a number of revenue streams. I make money through my coaching business, I make money through online courses, and I also make a bit of money still through freelance copywriting. So when I have my revenue goal, I can then break down how I will achieve that goal through each of those different revenue streams. And it helps me to focus on what I need to be putting attention into for the coming year, 3 months, or whatever it may be. And I've mentioned this in passing, but also make sure you set timescales for your goals. So don't just say, I want to earn 50 grand. When do you want to earn 50 grand? In the next year, in the next 6 months, in the next 5 years? Give yourself a deadline, because that gives you something to work towards, and then you can break it down. So for example, let's say you want to earn 80 grand in the next year. You can then break that down into quarters like I do. So each quarter you need to be earning 20 grand. Say you have one-to-one coaching that's £1,000 per programme. So you know then that over the course of 3 months you need to sell 20 programmes. And just going through this exercise helps to really focus you. And by focusing on what it is you need to sell and in what time you need to sell it, that allows you to much more efficiently plan the content of your blog, because you then know what type of content is going to help you get those sales, and also even when to plan certain types of content. So for example, if you do have multiple revenue streams, say you're launching a class on meditation in June, and then you're launching another course on healthy eating in December, it therefore makes sense that your content leading up to June is going to be around mindset, meditation, and all things related to that are then going to lead naturally to the launch of that course. And equally, when you're coming to launch your healthy eating course, it makes sense therefore that the content leading up to that would be more around the kind of physical health side of things, healthy eating, exercise, and all those kind of related topics that logically will lead your customers to the launch of that course. So I hope that makes sense. Just get really clear on what your goals are, the revenue you want to achieve, in what time you want to achieve it, and how are you going to achieve it. So what are you going to be selling, and how many of those do you need to sell in order to hit those targets? And that's it for lesson 1.